It's the Indian Chelsea fan again. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great week. I would like to thank you all firstly to view and like the three videos that I have uploaded over the last week or so. However, I would like to also request kindly make sure that you comment with your views and feedback on the YouTube videos. You could comment by just logging into your Google ID and commenting below the videos. So just below this video as well, kindly make a comment as well as subscribe to my channel as it is for free as you may know by now. So yep, for this week, as far as the news is concerned, I don't really have much Chelsea related news as this is an international break. Unfortunately, we do not have any club matches as such. However, because it is very much a Chelsea based channel or mainly focused on Chelsea, I would certainly like to start this week's news with some Chelsea related news at least. So to begin the week, that was on Monday, we had Chelsea under 23 side beating Oxford United, and this was an EFL Trophy game. This is a changed format this year in the EFL Trophy, which is the lower league really. But however, Chelsea under 23 side this year is interesting to follow because more recently, Kurt Zuma and Marco van Ginkel, two Chelsea players who have been injured for long term, are playing for the under 23 side over the last couple of games. So yes, they played Oxford United, and it was a memorable game. The reason being, it actually went to penalties as a new format. Even if it's a draw, which it ended 1-1 at the end of 90 minutes, you go to penalties, and on penalties, believe it or not, there were 34 penalties. Yes, it went down to sudden death, and in the end, it was our goalkeeper Collins who was the hero. And this was one of the longest penalty shootouts that I can remember in the recent past. As far as the main Chelsea players on focus are concerned, Kurt Zuma and Marco van Ginkel, both of them took penalties. Kurt Zuma scoring both of his penalty kicks, while Van Ginkel missed a penalty. However, the positive aspect is that we won the game, and more importantly, Zuma and Van Ginkel came off the game after finishing 90 minutes plus penalties without getting any injury concerns again. So, that's really good. Kurt Zuma is expected to actually join the first team squad, the main squad of Chelsea, while Marco Van Ginkel is expected to go out on loan, I would suppose. You might have noticed that I'm wearing this jersey today. Yes, this is the Netherlands international jersey, and this is from the 2010 World Cup when Netherlands really performed well, and this is an alternate jersey for that World Cup for the Netherlands team. And Marco van Ginkel, the Dutchman, is expected to go out on loan to Holland in January, obviously because of Chelsea having too many midfielders currently, and that is what is expected. So as you can see, this is the 2010 World Cup jersey, and the reason why I'm wearing it is not only because of Marco van Ginkel representing the Dutch team. The connection is that Ian Robin, my favorite Chelsea player, is a Dutchman, and that's why I follow the Netherlands national team. And yes, so I just thought of wearing it during the international break. In other news from Monday, unfortunately, we have Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, an ex-Chelsea man, again a Dutchman, who was QPR manager. Yes, he has been sacked. QPR has not been performing well in the championship over the last year or so under Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, and it's very sad to see this ex-Chelsea star striker, off his job. But this is what football is all about. Coming to Tuesday, there was some very important news. Well, it was worse than the news that Mr. Donald Trump has won the US presidential election. And what it is? It is relating Chelsea. Diego Costa was reported to have an injured groin during training with the Spanish team, so he pulled out of the game against Macedonia by returning to Chelsea. It's like the end of the world for Chelsea fans. Diego Costa has been in fantastic form, and really, this is the last time of the year that one would want him injured because we are on a roll and having a very important string of fixtures to come. We are playing Middlesbrough away, then against Spurs, and then against Man City. The next 2 to 3 weeks, we need him fit as a fiddle. Anyway, let's see, he's back for treatment and hopefully will get fit in a week or so from now. But in the Spanish team, he was replaced by ex-Liverpool flop man Iago Aspas, who will also replace him for the upcoming friendly against England, which is on Tuesday. On the Wednesday of this week, the international round of fixtures actually began. On Wednesday, the match that I would like to highlight is the friendly match, and this is Netherlands versus Belgium. Netherlands were playing at home, so they had an advantage. Although it was a friendly, it was an important match because it would have given Netherlands coefficient points for the next games, and this is important considering the form the Netherlands are currently in. For Netherlands, Robin was rested again. Obviously, he hasn't had a great run of form as well as fitness, but he is expected to play against Luxembourg on Sunday for the crucial World Cup qualifier. For Belgium, their captain Company pulled out after warm-up, just to be safe, I guess, for the next game against Estonia on Sunday. I know that he hasn't been playing at all almost for Manchester City and is definitely, you know, not really an asset right now for footballing teams, but he is class after all. Netherlands did not really start off greatly because they had not great luck on their side. They had a couple of injuries to begin with in the first half early on, mainly their striker Vincent Janssen, the Spurs flop man currently getting injured. He actually faced a concussion. I believe he took a punch of Simon Mignolet of Liverpool, the goalkeeper of Belgium, who was playing because Thibaut Courtois, the Chelsea goalkeeper, was rested for this game. I believe he had slight eye infection and possibly they rested him for this friendly. So Vincent Janssen was replaced early on by Bas Dost of Sporting Lisbon. Surprisingly, Belgium did not start with any striker. Yes, they actually had four-star strikers on their bench, including Michi Batshuayi of Chelsea. I don't understand international managers sometimes. Maybe it was just a friendly and he wanted to try something out, the ex-Everton manager, or I don't know, he just wanted to show that he could, win games with this team with four strikers on the bench. Anyway, Hazard, I believe, started up front, and Hazard did take, as usual, many knocks during the game and was almost injured towards the end of the game. However, I believe it wasn't as bad as first feared to be. So, Chelsea fans, relax. He's okay. By the way, this was the very first game ever where both the Hazard brothers were in the Belgium squad. Yes, Thorgan Hazard, the ex-Chelsea man, was on the bench while Eden Hazard started. I believe Torgan Hazard came on late in the game, so that was great for the brotherly love. As for the game, well, towards the end of the first half, I believe Spurs defender Jan Vertonghen tripped one of the Holland players, Jermaine Lens, and this resulted in a penalty. The penalty was successfully converted by Ajax's midfielder Davy Klaassen. Holland, after that goal, had a positive impact in the game, and halftime it ended 1-0 in favor of Holland. In the second half, also, I believe the Netherlands were pretty strong, although they already had made changes, and Belgium team was stronger on paper, but Netherlands were playing well, I suppose, to my surprise, and contrary to the recent form. However, as destiny is for Holland currently, their team actually conceded late on in the second half, and it was an informed player of Belgium who's really informed for Atletico Madrid, Yannick Carrasco. Yannick Carrasco had a shot from outside the box from his left foot, I believe, which deflected into the Dutch goal, and the game ended 1-all. Well, it was a friendly after all, but it was well fought on the pitch and was a close tie in terms of the score as well. Coming to Thursday, let's start off with the England under 21s. England under 21s were playing friendly against Italy under 21 team, and this was played at Southampton at England's home. So, England under 21 is the topic of my discussion right now because we have Chaloba, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, as well as our loanees Tammy Abraham and Lewis Baker in the team of England under 21, with Chaloba being a regular. I think he has one of the highest number of appearances as an England under 21 international, somewhere similar to what James Milner had. So coming to the game, we had Chaloba and Baker who started with Abraham coming on late in the second half, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek had a bit of a knock, so he was benched throughout. I hope it's not very bad, although he doesn't really start for Chelsea, but after all, he is a Chelsea player, so I have to be concerned. The team is anyway playing a second game, I believe, against France on Monday, so I hope RLC will be fit for that game and play for the England side because he has been almost a regular for their side in the recent months. Well, England won through a late winner with Baker scoring a fantastic goal of his left foot by playing a 1-2, and Baker's goal was actually an equalizer, not the winner, but England were also able to get a late winner against Italy in, I believe, stoppage time. So it ended 3-2 in favor of England under 21, and for the England under 21 side, Chaloba and Leicester's Gray were the best performers in the day, and I believe Gray got the man of the match, but a lot of pundits as well as I believe Chaloba performed better than Gray and was one of the main reasons why England under 21 came back from 2-1 down to win this game 3-2. Ironically, Italy under 21 were the last side that England under 21 lost to. Yes, it has been 15 to 16 months that this side has been unbeaten, and let's see how it goes further. But almost for a year and a half now they've been unbeaten, and that is commendable. Moving to the more significant fixtures on Thursday that happened, I would like to cover the South American qualifiers. The South American qualifiers standout game on Thursday was Brazil versus Argentina. Yes, the traditional rivals were playing in Brazil, and this was the hosts, I believe, first time return to Belo Horizonte since their 7-1 loss to Germany a couple of years back in the World Cup. So yes, it was a very important game for Brazil. However, for Argentina, it was almost a must win or a must not lose game because they have been doing extremely badly in the World Cup qualification. From Chelsea, we only had Willian for this game who was selected for either of the squads. For Brazil, although we have other people in the Chelsea squad, he was only a person chosen for this week. So, coming to the game, we had Coutinho who scored his trademark stunner from outside the box midway through the first half. Although Argentina were playing well, but Brazil really had that killer instinct, and Coutinho pounced on one of the mistakes and had a shot which really stunned Argentina. And after that, I believe it was all one-sided, more or less. All the significant moves were made by Brazil, with Neymar doubling the lead at the stroke of half-time. And at half-time, it ended 2-0 in favor of Brazil. The second half started the same way as the first half ended, with the ex-Spurs midfielder Paulinho, who now plays in China like Ramirez, scoring the third goal for Brazil around the hour mark. And Argentina were humbled to a 3-0 defeat without being able to come back in the game, although they did make some substitutions in the second half, but it was too late. Messi must be really wondering, why did I come back? I had happily retired from international football after the humiliation by Chile for second year in running in the Copa America final. However, he is back and Argentina are really doing badly in the World Cup qualification. They need to pull up their socks in the last few games, otherwise they will not be in the next World Cup, having been, yes, runners up in the previous World Cup. And of course, they have the best player in the world, so-called best player in the world, who hardly performs for a national side, really, in my opinion, Lionel Messi. Well, another Brazilian who really stood out in this game was Manchester City's latest signing, Gabriel Jesus. He's currently playing in Brazil, but I believe he'll be back in January for Manchester City, and it is a scary thought because he did play really well, linking up with Neymar and Coutinho tremendously up front for Brazil. Well, speaking about selections, as I was mentioning about international managers, I do not know it is the ego or really knowledge, lack of it, or whatever. But when it comes to South American managers, it's even more stranger. For Argentina, I really do not understand why doesn't Kun Aguero start every game? Each game almost I see Sergio Aguero starts on the bench. He is a world class player in my opinion. I really envy Manchester City to have such a great striker. He is one striker who I believe is almost or even better than Diego Costa in the Premier League. I really don't know why Kun Aguero starts on the bench. Similar to Argentina, Brazil have their own selection surprises. Roberto Firmino, although I really do not like him personally as a player, he has been in absolutely fantastic form for Liverpool. However, he wasn't picked to start. He was in the squad but started on the bench. Same goes for Douglas Costa of Bayern Munich and Thiago Silva of PSG. All three start on the bench, apart from Willian, of course, whom I spoke about earlier. Well, Willian has not been in great form, so I can still understand, and also he is not that fit recently. But the strangest bit was David Luiz, who has been tremendous for Chelsea in the last month or two, wasn't even picked to be in the squad. Well, good for Chelsea that he's getting the rest. Elsewhere, while Argentina lost their game to Brazil, Chile who also are not having a great World Cup qualification campaign as of now, drew away 0-0 to Colombia. Well, I can possibly think of the reason being, or one of the reasons being, Alexis Sanchez not playing for Chile. He was supposedly injured before the game and did not feature. Also, Chile had Manchester City's goalkeeper Claudio Bravo, who got injured around the hour mark during the game. I believe he injured his knee and had to be taken off. So they were not really playing with their best players on the pitch, and the game ended 0-0. For Colombia, Juan Cuadrado, the loanee from Chelsea to Juventus, wasn't picked for this game. After 11 games played by each nation now, the points table stands like this. And it is clear that Chile and Argentina need to do something to really come up the table and qualify in the upcoming games. Well, coming to Friday, the match that I would like to highlight is obviously England because I follow the English Premier League, as do many of you as well. So England were playing Scotland, and this was a World Cup qualifier. This was played at Wembley at England's home. England were yet to concede in the three qualifiers until this game, but they had only scored 3 goals in total in this campaign. Last time out, they only managed a boring 0-0 away to Slovenia. After which, we all know what happened. Gareth Southgate came in to replace Sam Allardyce. Sam Allardyce was obviously sacked as the England manager. So will Southgate be able to win the next couple of games and be announced as the permanent England manager? Well, let's see. As of now, no decision has been taken on that topic. As for the game, from the Chelsea squad, only Cahill was chosen in the England team again, as has been the case lately, because John Terry obviously is not going to come back after retiring. The game started on a very bright note. The atmosphere was fantastic in Wembley, and England started well. The result was they got an early goal scored by an ex-Chelsea man in Daniel Sturridge. He was helped on the right wing by Kyle Walker, who had a fantastic attacking cross into the box, and the ball was headed in by Sturridge. Scotland did fight back, and the game was pretty close in the second part of the first half, but the half time ended with a score of 1-0 with England in the lead. The second half started similar to the first, with England getting an early goal, and the goal was also, in a way, not very different to the first goal. It was a fullback again, this time on the left hand side. So Danny Rose of Tottenham crossed in to have Adam Lallana there, who pounced on the ball and scored the second goal for England. Cahill then got a third for England as well via a header, and I believe it was a goal that Scotland should not have conceded really, but nevertheless the Chelsea man got his goal, and this was a goal that he scored internationally after more than a couple of years. So, well, it was long time due. Good that Cahill will get some much needed rest now for a week. That being because he was booked late in the game and will now miss the friendly against Spain on Tuesday. So another positive for Chelsea, and he can have good week's rest and be ready for our next game against Middlesbrough. Elsewhere, France beat Sweden via a Paul Pogba equalizer and Dimitri Payet assist followed by a winner by the latter. Well, Dimitri Payet and Paul Pogba are really doing well for France at least. So they beat Sweden 2-1 and Kante started on the bench yet again, strangely, but well, again, good for CFC. To end this video, I know that the international week hasn't been great to talk about much interesting things, but an important period next week or the coming days it is because well, we do have Chelsea players who have been picked in the national squads and eligible to play later this week. I hope they don't get injured. These are the ones. Okay, so that's about it for today. I know it's been a long video, but a very informative one at that, with different international fixtures covered for the week. And I hope to come up with some more news and possibly some interesting topics to talk about in my next video. And meanwhile, you keep the blue flag flying high and do not forget you can comment below to my videos as well as like. You might have noticed the new logo that I've come up with. I just thought of designing it on my own for now and I hope you all liked it. So kindly subscribe to my channel and take care. Bye.